would be comfortable for her. She has, yes, 10 years she has been knocking around with me in this Dandaka forest. Where should we go? And Agastya Muni says, Itaha Dvi Yojane, 16 miles from here. Yojana is 8 miles. Dvi Yojane, 16 miles from here, from my place, near Godavari river, there is a place called Panchavati. This Panchavati is a place very beautiful. Stay there, protect the rishis in that area, and thus he guides them to go to the next stop in the forest called Panchavati. And so these verses 42 and 43 describes the movement of Sri Rama in the forest and living in the forest, where all the sages asked him, Sarve Rishayaha. They asked him to kill these demons who were bothering. Vadhaya Abhyagaman. He agreed to kill those sages, not sages, the asuras, the demons. Satesham Rakshasanam Vadham Patishrushraava. Verses 43 and 44, Sri Rama agreed to kill the Rakshasas, and in verse number 45, he describes that for these sages, a great work in Dandaka forest, promising the sages killing all the demons who were bothering them, hurting them. He did that during his time in the forest. That is the gist of that verse. And after that, what happened? As they moved to Panchavati, near Godavari, on the way they met with a great big Mahakayam, a huge bodied vulture. Okay. A huge bodied vulture who was very, very powerful. And as they meet him on the way in Panchavati, in the forest, they ask him, hey, who are you? And this vulture tells them, I am a friend of your father. An elderly vulture, and he describes my name is Jatayu. Jatayu. And it is a whole new, not only, I told you, not only asuras and rakshasas, even the bird community, the winged birds, all those beings. So here there is a dialogue between Jatayu and Sri Rama. Jatayu explains, is a beautiful section in Valmiki. I really love this section. I wish we can go on and on with Ramayana, This section describes, Jatayu describes the entire coming of creation. He describes his lineage. Who is he? Who was his father, his mother? He describes his brothers. He describes his co-mother, his stepmother, and so on. Like this, the entire lineage of this Kardama, starting from Kardama, and all these is a very elaborate description, and how generations after generations are born deer, and in the forest life. Don't think only you have a gotra and you are a son of a rishi putra. The birds, the animals, the deer, the bears, the lions, the monkeys, the baboons, and the elephants, the tigers, the serpents, the snakes, the bovine creatures, the horses, each one of them and their connection to the higher worlds. Can you imagine? It's an elaborate description. Like, the horses born of Gandharvi. There is one celestial called Gandharvi. From Kadru came 1,000 serpents. From Vinata comes Garuda and Aruda. And from Aruna is born Jatayu and Sampati. Like this, descriptions of different life forms, different races, different life that exists in nature, in the natural ecosystem. For us, it's one bunch, we put everything in one bag, right? These are called animal world. In English language, everything is an animal world. But here, it's not like that. Each race has its own lineage, and who are their parents and their grandparents, and from how they come from the higher worlds to be born on earth in the physical plane in different bodies, in different life forms, and therefore they all need to be understood in that manner. All these details of the ancestry of this animal world in the forest. Thus, we can respect the ecosystem of nature as is, and then he says that I will also join you in Panchavati. Whenever both of you go hunting or doing your work, well, I will be there to protect Sita Devi. And therefore, Jatayu, this elderly bird, they all go to Panchavati, and there Lakshmana, who was an expert architect, and a construction engineer, he built this beautiful hut, made it very comfortable to live, and winter had approached, and so he had to see that in the cold winter also they were comfortable. Sita Devi was comfortable. And so they lived there. Night times it would snow, daytime with the sun they would manage, and this is how they lived. In those winter months are sometimes, winter is considered gloomy, isn't it? So in one of those gloomy, silent mornings, when the three of them were sitting, I suppose over a cup of tea or some such thing, Lakshmana really went into this expressing his pain and his sorrow, where he describes how could these people do this to us? How could Dasharatha do this to us? So from anger, Lakshmana has now gone into this passive emotion of sorrow, Sorrow, when it is active, aggressive, it becomes anger. And when that anger found no expression in front of Sri Rama, but it is there in his heart, it goes back into sorrow, and he expresses his sorrow on a winter morning in Panchavati. And Sri Rama calmly, as calm as the sorrow of Lakshmana, Sri Rama equally calmly tells him, a Kaikeyi should never be condemned by you. We will go back, 10 years are over, our time has come, and so much, there's hardly any time left. We will soon return to our Ayodhya. They will be longing for us. We are also longing for them. Let us look forward to our return to Ayodhya. And with this, well, little did they know what was sitting round the corner. Hey, what was sitting round the corner? Well, during this time, verse number 46 describes, Tena tatraiva vasata Janasthana nivasini Virupita Shurpanakha Rakshasi Kamarupini. Now comes, in this area, This whole territory is called nearby, called Janasthana. Near Panchavati, an area called Janasthana, and this Janasthana, from there, one day just strolling, walking, moving around, this big, ugly demoness arrives. Virupita, she is really ugly, disfigured. But they never arrive on a scene like that with their ugly features. They are demons and they have powers. And therefore she converts herself into a beautiful, really enchanting woman, and she comes there because she sees two handsome ascetic men. Of course, there is some lady sitting there, ugly lady. These two men have this ugly woman there. What are they doing with this ugly woman? Later on, Shurpanaka describes this ugly woman. For us, she is Sita Devi, but for Shurpanaka, ugliness means when your stomach is caved in, it is ugly. For a demoness, what is beauty? A large stomach. Big teeth sticking out. So this ugly woman with teeth inside, with stomach caved in, no stomach seen, what kind of a form is this? It's very unfortunate. Two handsome ascetics are sitting there, and this useless woman, she really belongs to my stomach. Let me just go there and charm them, flirt with them, and this older one is still more handsome. I will propose, I will request him, I let him know who I am. After all, I am the sister of none other than the great King Ravana. And my brothers Khara and Dushana and Trishira, they rule this forest area. I am their sister, the princess of this Dandaka forest. Once I introduce myself, I'm sure he will fall for me and allow me to eat that ugly lady there, and then I can live with this handsome ascetic my life. And thus the Shurpanakha, demoness, has made up her mind that she is going to marry Sri Rama. Even if there is a woman, that doesn't matter, so what? He can flirt, I can flirt with him, no problem. So this is the demoness thinking. Married or no married, I can flirt with him.